I hope everybody is having a great Saturday. And I just wanted to touch on something that is a very interesting article I was reading in the Wall Street Journal today. And Stuart Madnick wrote in the Wall Street Journal that about how cybersecurity spending has grown significantly, but so have attacks. So how is it that we spend much more on cybersecurity while the number of breaches goes up? And we're going to touch on that. So what he says is that in 2023, $188 billion was spent worldwide to protect systems from cyber attacks. And that figure is expected to grow in 2024 from $188 billion to almost $215 billion in 2024. And even though we're spending that kind of money, hackers still find a way in. And while we spend that, the number of breaches that are going up is that they are going up to a record 3,205 breaches in 2023. That's up a staggering 78% from 2022. And why does this keep happening? He points out three areas why it keeps happening. One is that the attacks are getting more sophisticated. They're evolving. And so where we started back in the day, we had just basic ransomware. Well, now there are gangs out there that are running these ransomware organizations. And not only these gangs or businesses that we've talked about before running these ransomware organizations, they can now take and franchise that or sell it out to people that are budding or emerging cyber criminals. You don't have to be super smart to launch an attack. You can go buy this software and run it from your house and go after your enemies or go after anybody on the internet that you might be able to get money from. And it comes with paid support from these ransomware attacks. That also, the other thing where they're evolving is ransomware just used to be about encrypting your network, getting that payment out. Well, now they're taking that personal data that's on the network and not just encrypting it, they're exporting it, exfiltrating it, and they are then using that to follow up with further threats and demands for money. Otherwise, they release this data out onto the internet. And so that's the other big threat out there is turning this data that they export, whether it's healthcare data, whether it's financial data, they turn around and open it up on the web. So the second thing that he points is COVID started 4 years ago. That was a big push for people to move their stuff from on-premise out to the cloud. The cloud's been a big thing even before that. But with the lack of talented technicians out there, engineers out there, a lot of companies are moving their data out to the cloud, but then not securing it. And the cloud is great because then your physical server is not at risk of somebody coming in and taking it or somebody breaching it due to poor network security internally. But if you had good network security internally and you put it out on the cloud and you don't have the proper firewall settings, the proper security settings, it's much easier to break into that cloud network than it was your internal network. So we want to make sure that we invest the money to secure that data internally. And then the third thing that they talk about is that the vendor attacks. So third-party vendor attacks. And this comes up in a lot of discussions when you go out to conferences is the risk of third-party vendors being attacked because they have old equipment internally. If you walk around your network closet or your data center and you see old HVAC machines or access control, the door badges, we don't think about them, but we run into those out in prospect sites where they might have an PC running the door access control. And if that's plugged into the network, that thing is as vulnerable as any other XP machine sitting on your network. So we want to make sure that even though cyber attacks go up, that the money we spend is properly implemented and set up. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in, is we just have to keep adding tools. Our security stack 10 years ago involved basically antivirus. Now we have DNS protection. We have We have zero threat software. We have managed detection and response. We have cloud hosted email security. We have a ton of things to help protect us. So go out and check out that article at the Wall Street Journal. And, if you're concerned about this, and if you're concerned about whether or not you're spending on the right things, because a lot of companies will spend on the wrong things, or they'll implement something but not have the staff to manage it, give us a call at Colorado Computer Support. We'll help you get this stuff done right. We'll help protect your network. And, as always, make sure you protect your network in layers and make sure you're backing up. And you can find us on the web at www.coloradosupport.com or 719-439-0599.